Hey guys, welcome to the Gear Asylum. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about the helmet setup I've got. A couple years ago, my brother, my dad, and I were in Texas hunting, and we tried to film off our cell phones under red light from our headlamps. It didn't really work super well. So currently I've got this helmet set up where I've got the standard MOHOC. It is not the infrared variant, and I have a Streamlight Sidewinder Compact 2 mounted on the side. So let's go ahead and look at how the MOHOC will record inside a building off a flashlight. See if that's a viable option. So to start off here, you can see I've got my regular lights on in the house. It's just a light bulb in the room, and getting the test footage of how the MOHOC records typically. So right here, you're looking at all the different colors of my backpacks. I want to see how the light interacts with different colors on how the MOHOC picks it up compared to the human eye. And then we're also going to look at that topo map on the wall and see what the camera picks up on a topo map with red, blue, and white light. The Sidewinder has those three light colors as well as infrared. We're unfortunately not going to be able to test that right now because I don't have an infrared MOHOC. So we're just going to go ahead with the test. Getting the lights shut off here. Alright. To start off, we're going to do white light. Now right there, I turned it up to the brightest setting that the flashlight is capable of. And you can see the center focal point of that beam is pretty bright, and the camera doesn't really like to see what's in that dead center point. The aura is super visible though. But for an actual house situation up close like that, especially off of like white walls, it's a little bit difficult to see in the camera's perspective with the white light this bright. And over here you can see on that map, it is just like a solid white circle in the center. You can't see anything. Like I said earlier though, that surrounding aura, super good visibility. Super good for that. Just that center focal point gets a little bit crazy. And now our blue light, yet again on the brightest setting. What I find super funky is over there on some of the Cordura material, you can see it's got like a reflection. It's really weird. Something else that I found interesting about the different colors is if you've ever used the blue light, you know that it kind of messes with the way you perceive colors. Like that's a Marpat rucksack right there, but it's super difficult to actually distinguish the colors. And this one almost reflects too. It's super weird. I don't know if it's the material itself, the Cordura fabric, if there's some sort of a coating on it or what, but the camera's picking that up. That's not what it looks like to the naked eye when I was looking at it. So that was super interesting when I saw that. That's the OD green backpack, and yet again you see that just reflection in the center, and here you can see it like crazy on this ATAX. Super good reflection, but when it's not in that dead center, you can actually see pretty decently off this blue. Something I found interesting about that sage green backpack is the camera can distinguish it a little bit better, but to the naked eye, I could barely distinguish the difference between the color of the backpack and the brown wall behind it. That sage green was just almost identical when I was looking at it. Over here at the map, if you've ever used a blue light on a map in person, you've probably noticed how the colors get kind of wonky. You can't distinguish what the actual color is. Most of the colors you can tell there's different colors, but you can't tell what it actually is. And here, the camera, now right here, that's really really good visibility on the map. But when I was up close like that, I had that reflection, and I suspect it's reflecting off of the waterproof coating. Now we're going to switch to red real quick. Much smaller area of visibility. The camera, it's not huge difference, but it's really narrow as to what the camera can see. And in person, like actually seeing it, the red light doesn't have as big of an aura that I can see around it. The camera view, the blue and red are pretty similar. I show a difference here in just a second on just how big the center focal point of the red and blue are. But in person, the red is a much darker area. As you can see here, compared to the blue, you can tell the difference in the colors a lot more. You can't really say, oh yeah, that's an OD green backpack, that's a sage green backpack. But you can definitely tell the difference between the two looking at them, where in blue light, that's much harder. And then I've still got that reflection in the center. Like, don't know what that's with. What's with that? But the pattern itself is much easier to distinguish. It was in person and on the camera. I can see the three primary colors of the Marpat much more clearly than under blue light. The blue light, the lighter two colors were really close. Then this reflects like nobody's business off the red. The colors that you can see are way more distinguishable than under blue. Like there's more contrast between like the green of the foliage and the blue of the water. But you can't hardly see it on the camera. In order to get close enough for the light to be bright enough, I mean, you're getting that big reflection in the center coming back at the camera, which I'm still not sure what's causing that exactly. But here we go. So I'm focusing in on that black backpack in the middle, putting the center of the beam on that backpack to see what the camera can see left and right. From my view in person, I could see about a third of each backpack on either side. There's our white light. You can see basically the entire wall. And then there, the blue light, a lot easier to see them. And I'm getting about half the backpack on either side instead of just like that third, just that tiny little sliver on the sides. So the blue definitely looks better on the camera. The blue picks up better than the red, but you're still a very limited focal point that you're going to be able to see on the camera. The white light, obviously, as I was expecting, it shows up way better on the camera, but the blue is performing pretty well. I'm kind of curious to see what it's like outside, because like I said, the reason I'm testing this for my own curiosity is for hunting, because on a cell phone, you can't really tell on a cell phone when you're using red light. You got to be right on top of something. But anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed the test, and I will catch you guys later. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up or subscribe or comment. Let me know what you think of the test and the results. If you've had different results with a different camera or a different flashlight, let me know. But I hope this helped you kind of decide what headlamp is going to be best for your endeavors and your hunting or airsoft, house clearing, whatever it is you're doing. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.